Welcome to season 6 of the Ivy Unleashed podcast. 6. We have a new season for all of you listeners that is going to blow your mind. We are talking this season all about energy, up-leveling your health, your energy, your motivation with so many awesome guests and yours truly, Brooke and Andrew.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. This is one of the joys of my life. I love sitting with you. I love sharing with our audience. I love hearing what they take from what we share. And Brooke and I have been doing such deep work on ourselves this last year. I would say this is like we've done the most heavy lifting and really getting narrowly focused on how we want to take care of ourselves, our bodies, our relationships, our business. And we love sharing with you because it's dramatically changing our lives, our mindsets, our bodies, our health, our relationships. And I'm just so grateful to have this microphone and these headphones to hear you. And I can't believe it's season 6. This is huge that we're still doing this.
What are you most excited for
in 2026? I'm really excited actually to I'm writing myself a letter for the end of 2026 right now. Like that's one of my to-dos this week. And I'm kind of putting it off because I want to make sure I know exactly what I want to experience this year. Not so much always outcomes or numbers, but also feelings.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to get to the end of 2026 and read that letter to see if I am who I say I am. And if what I believe about myself is true, what I want to make happen in 2026. Like I can't wait to read that letter. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and we both recently found our letters from 2024. I don't know about you, but I forgot last year. And with this move this year, I'm like, oh my God, here's the letter. And I read it and almost everything, and by almost, I mean like one thing that I wrote didn't come true.
Same.
Out of like 10 things.
And how did we both not read it the year later, but 2 years later? We both had the same scenario. Like I found it in my office drawer.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
I mean, a lot happens in a year.
Yeah.
You forget about it. And I think it resurfaced at the time it was supposed to resurface. Like if I would have read my letter last year, I wouldn't have a rock on my hand and I would have been pissed. And so God was like, all right, let's just hide this for another year. Give her some patience.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to do that again this year or, the next couple of weeks to then open at the end of next year. And I invite everyone to do that as well. It's such a fun exercise. We heard it from Jen Gottlieb. And, you write in there your personal life goals, your business goals, how you want to feel a year from now. When you look back at the past year, what are you so stinking proud of? So for me, it was like, I look at my hand and I see a beautiful rock. I'm planning my wedding. Our business is bringing in this much. Here's how I'm spending my time. Here's how I'm feeling in my health. Like just fantasizing your day to day and what you want to happen in that year, it eludes some really fun energy.
Yeah. And you're writing it as, like you're saying, I'm looking at the rock on my hand. So it's like you're in the present tense of that moment at the end of 2026. And I think the reason why it works is because you have to tap into the belief that you could. What do you believe could be possible by then? And then you start to live as if it is possible. And we're going to talk about that today. We have some abundant energy, big time. We've talked about this a lot on the podcast, but I feel like Brooke and I are both at a place where we're really living it deeply instead of being like, oh, easy for you to say person into things are coming true. And because we know what's required, we want to share that with you, what we're doing on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and what our plans are for 2026.
Yeah. Our goal is that you tune into this podcast and you leave feeling extremely energized and motivated and confident that you can take one step to up level whatever area it is you want, your health, your personal life, your finances. And so today we want to share what we have in store for 2026. You might see all of our social media with personal development, gals and guys, your word of the year. And this is something Andrew and I have done the last 2 years. My word this year, 2025, was happy. And I got a rock on my hand. I got out of debt. And I can say I feel pretty happy. and I'm excited for what's to come. So when I look back at the year of like, okay, was I happy? Like, yes, I prioritized being in the present moment, really getting specific on what I want and being unapologetic for it. I feel like I stepped into that, and it's only going to keep going. And I kind of am using that to go into my word for 2026.
I love it. My word was radiant. I really wanted to focus on energy, light, being a light. What gives me more energy? How can I stay in that? Not just positive, because I'm a positive person all the time. Not all the time, but like most people say I'm a pretty positive person when they talk with me. And it was deeper than that, more of what actually elevates my vibe and how am I putting that into practice, and what can I remove that dims my light. And that was so powerful. And I feel like now all the things I did are who I am, right? Thinking of little practices, whether it's taking supplements that I know are internally helping my vibe, right? Like helping everything work more efficiently so I have more energy. I really focused on sleep, like aiming for 8 hours. And I've never done that before. I've always been like 7 is fine. It's 7 to 8 is what the research says. I should just go for 7. I'll have another hour. And having that extra hour, I think really helped balance hormones and give me more energy and be able to be more present, less irritable, have that higher vibe. And then when it came to alcohol, putting in my body, majority of the year I didn't drink besides the summer. And I really saw how much that dims my light. And I think, we've talked about this a lot. I've experimented a lot. And sometimes you just have to own the truth, whether it's hard to admit or hard to own or hard to change, it's the truth. And alcohol was dimming my light, and I am such a brighter light without it. And so that really helped me be more radiant, removing it more, and way more practices that we can talk deeper about. But I'll get to my word of the year, and Brooke will get to hers. But first, we have something that we want to share. We have a golden review of Ivy Unleashed we want to share. And so we're going to start doing this because we really want to hear from you. It's really important for us to know what you like, what you want to hear more of when it comes to Ivy Unleashed. This show is rapidly growing, and we love it. And reviews help that growth too. So first, we want to read from Wake Up Your Soul. She said, Andrea and Brooke deliver the best show. They have all the goods that you need for living a healthy life when it comes to mind, body, and soul. They inspire, uplift, and give actionable guidance. Thank you, Wake Up Your Soul. I have a guess who that is because I think Andrea that was on the podcast, I think Wake Up Your Soul is her podcast name.
I love it.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And if you leave a review and a rating, we want to extend our gratitude towards you by not only reading it live on the podcast, but we also want to send you one of our favorite guides. It's our 10X Your Energy, Maximize Your Metabolism with Gold Ivy guide. It's originally $19. It's full of move workouts, recipes, all different health and wellness tips to help literally 10X your energy. And so you drop the review and we send you the guide. It's that simple.
Yep. So when you drop the review, if you don't want to say your name in the review, take a screenshot of your review and then DM us it. We are Gold Ivy Health Co. on all social channels. Doesn't matter where you send it. Send it to us and then we'll send you the guide.
Yeah. On this show, we do it. It's free for you. And so this is a great way just to say thank you. Let us know what you're thinking, what is actually providing value in your life. We do this for you. So we want to hear from you.
Okay. So when I see in the title of an episode, anything about abundance, I always click on it. I'm like, how are you getting more abundant? And in my mind, it's just more of what you want. I think sometimes we're like drawn to like, that means money. It means so many things. It means more love. It means more energy. It means more of what you want. You might want more money. You might want more intimacy. You might want
Peace.
More success in your career, more peace, a better health situation, whatever it is. So when you think of abundance, think about tapping into more of what you want. And so Brooke and I, ever since we've been in business, have tried very unique things. Think of the things we've tried. Okay, I think the algorithm knows that we both tap on this stuff. So there's like a trick where you put cinnamon on a penny.
I think a quarter.
A quarter. And you blow on it out your front door, and then I don't even remember. We've done the weirdest thing.
Here's the thing. They're weird, but the science behind them shows you're taking action and you're believing in it.
Yes.
And so it doesn't matter how weird it is. If you believe it, you're giving it energy. You're believing in yourself that you are possible, you are worthy of achieving the thing. Mm-hmm. So, we've tried a lot of different things, but I think it's what we actually believe that works.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
So to everyone listening, you might find things on the algorithm. You might be like, I will never blow in a penny, but maybe you'll write down your goals. Mm-hmm. And that's the same energy of I'm actually putting thought into it and belief.
Yeah. You're putting thought to it and you're putting action towards it. So whether you're blowing the cinnamon off the quarter, or you're writing in your journal, or you're praying about it, or you're telling someone, it is that belief that needs to grow in order for you to attract the thing. And when it comes to abundance and the work that I'm currently doing, the last year was about raising the vibe, because that is how you are in the state where you're ready to ask for what you want. You're ready to take action on what you want. You know what you want because you're in such a state that you feel more worthy. You feel more light. You feel more excited. And for me, doing this work this year, it's been pivotal for me. And I am so ready for 2026. Brooke and I have so much to talk about and such exciting things in the works for our business. But when it comes down to it and having belief for something that you want to be abundant, it has so much to do with your identity. Mm-hmm. Who am I? And what I'm noticing in the work that I'm doing, I've been following this DG mindset, Derek Grant. He's brilliant and he's a super powerful motivational speaker. But he has motivated me so much in some of his episodes or what he's saying on Instagram that I've taken some notes, and I look at this daily of stepping into this new identity. And when you think of that version of yourself you want to become, this new identity you're stepping into, he says to even give her a name or him a name of your alter ego. So like mine's Dre. What does Dre want? Would that version of Dre be doing this? Would she be talking like this? Would she be wearing this? Would she be thinking this way? Would she be ruminating at bedtime? No, she would be peacefully sleeping because she knows and she trusts that she's going to get done what she needs to get done the next day. And she has everything inside her to do that. And so when you're making a decision, what would Dre want? What would that version of me say? If you want to work on your relationships and maybe not reacting so fast, you're trying to be more peaceful with your children or your partner, that version of you would take a pause, take a deep breath, and probably respond with kindness or a more gentle approach. Example, thinking of money, that version of me would know what my finances are at and know where we're going and have a plan. And so I'm going to step into that version. Mm-hmm. When it comes to your health, that version of me, she gets up and she goes for a walk in the morning. It's cold, but she doesn't care because she's tough and she knows it's good for her and she just does it. And so even if you're not in that place, it's putting yourself, putting your mind, putting your body into that version of you you want to be. And in that moment, living as her, living as him as much as you can. And then you become that. You kind of close that time lapse of it doesn't take a full year to get there. You can be there now. You can be her now.
Yeah. Well, and when you get clear on what you want, right, you're visualizing, okay, this is the identity of who it is I want to step into, that next version of me. You then ask yourself, what is it going to take for me to get there? And that's the roadmap, right? Like Andrew's talking about, it's the pause. It's the I'm getting out of bed early and I'm going for a walk. You're taking the action. So you already are her because you're doing the actions of someone you want to be. Mm-hmm. I think there's always that, I'm not happy with where I'm at, and playing the victim and these ruminating thoughts and just negativity. And when you pause and you think, what do I want? Mm-hmm. It elevates your vibe in itself.
Yeah. And I think something too to help with your confidence, because I just did an exercise with Bree Johnson. She did a workshop setting some soul goals, a soul goal workshop. It was really fun. But something to think about is, when you're when you're thinking about your previous year, you're thinking of 2025 and what you want to do in 2026, we can get hard on ourselves, right? We can think, oh, I wanted to make more money, or I know I could have worked harder, or I know I could have went to the gym more. And then you start to beat yourself up and you start to have these thoughts of like, I didn't get there, or I could have, or I should have, and something to kind of flip that script. And something that I did, like as I was doing breath work with her, was I was thinking, yes, I could have made more money. Yes, I could have showed up more patiently, or I could have worked on my relationship more, or I could have fill in the blank. But then it flipped to all of the things that I did do I was proud of, when I did show up, how I felt, and taking those things and using it as proof of what you can 10x in 2026. Like you learn so much about yourself. You see what didn't work. Sure. You see what did work. And you know what you want from those things, of how you felt, who you were with, how you showed up, the goals you did set that you did crush, and what you want to bring into 2026, and knowing I have proof that I can. And how can I shift my year in a way that supports that supports those things that I know that I did pull through on, and I want to continue, and I really want to laser in on those. It's like the 80-20, like taking the 20 that you did do really well, and then 80% focusing on it in 2026.
Yeah. Well, the first step that I want to call out, what I'm hearing, is you took the time to reflect. And I think that's something that everyone should do, of just pull up your calendar of 2025, look at how you spent your time. What are the things that brought you joy, brought you peace, brought you health, brought you financial freedom, all of these things that were worth your time and energy. And then those are the things that maybe you focus on, the 20%, like Andrea's saying. That's where your energy, your focus is going to. And then you're 10xing the results, whether it's more peace, more freedom, more health, more whatever. But you now know what helped move the needle in 2025, and that's what you need to focus on 2026. And that's what we're doing with our business, our personal goals. Recently I read 10x is easier than 2x. Bree Johnson, speaking of Bree, recommended it. And I read this and I didn't want to give it to Andrea. I sent her own copy. I was like, I need you to read this right now. And it's mainly focused on business and entrepreneurs, but the concept can apply to anyone of get really specific on what you want and put your energy there. Delete, delegate, stop focusing on the 80% of just the mundane stuff you don't want to focus on. But that first step is getting clear on what are those drivers.
Yeah. And I think too, when I think about 10x on a personal level, I think sometimes like something I struggle with is there are a lot of things you have to do in your life that don't move the needle. Like I got to sweep my floors. You know what I mean? And like
maybe you get back out. What's her face? Susie?
That's my vacuum. That's
you do have a Roomba.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But I think there are some things, in life that it's almost like, how can I make the mundane, like romanticize it or make it more fun? And I think sometimes those things can drag the vibe down. Like, at this point, financially, it's not responsible for me to have somebody come in and clean my house every day. I would love to, not happening right now. But thinking, okay, during this time of things that I don't want to have to do, or if it is tough for you to get into exercise right now, because it's not fun, you're out of shape and you're just getting started and it's really hard, what can make this a little bit better? And I always go to music. It's like the one thing that can kind of take the edge off, put on that Christmas song, put on your favorite banger right now, little worship music, whatever it is. It's going to help you while you sweep your floors or bundle up to get outside to go for that walk or whatever it is. Like, how can I help myself out now? Because the stewing in the negativity and all of that's just going to bring the vibe down. It's going to lower your energy. And then it will probably stop you from continuing that habit that you know you need to do.
Yeah. I mean, there's just shit you got to do. Like, of course. But I think the point I'm trying to make is figuring out the habits that really light you up.
Yes.
And and getting specific and pouring your energy into those things. You know, maybe one of the habits is I listen to a podcast and I focus on what I consume and I make sure it's positive and I'm learning and I'm growing. And so I pair that with the exercise or with the cleaning kind of habit stack.
Yeah, it's so important too that you called out the reflection piece, because I think it isn't something you need to wait till the end of the year to do. I think it's daily. I think it's weekly, thinking about, what did this do to my energy? I used to watch The Housewives and it was so entertaining. I love seeing what they wore. I love seeing how they talk to each other. It made me feel better about myself because I wasn't treating people that way or whatever. But ultimately it lowered my vibe and it didn't move me forward. And I'm not attacking anybody that watches that, but I started to reflect honestly about the thing that I was spending a lot of time doing or watching. You know, I'm on a treadmill. Sure, I'm doing something good, but then I'm watching that. And so just starting to think about the autopilot things you do that you're not really reflecting on, you know, that you're not really noticing, like, how did that make me feel to go to that person's house? We always go there. Or my husband's friends with them, so we go. It's like, do you have to go? Does it pull you down? Do the people you're hanging out with talk to you a certain way that you know you don't like? Can I set a boundary, or can I just say no? And I think a huge part of reflecting is, what do I want to say no to so I can say yes to these things that light me up? And you can almost gamify things too of, you know, in 2025, I may set out to track things, and I hate tracking. I did. That's how I thought of it, right? And now I loved it. I'm like, what do I like about this? I like numbers. I like the competitive spirit of it. And the entire year of 2025, I still am to this day tracking. I'm trying to hit a certain number by the end of the month, so I'm running like crazy. But it helps me see truly, honestly, am I doing the things I said I wanted to do? I really thought I would do yoga like 10 times a month. I think I did yoga 10 times this whole year. But I know
you're doing it more than you were.
I am. And I'm seeing, so I tracked my miles, my strength training, and yoga. I did do it all year. And this is my accountability, that now it's something I don't have to think about doing because I know that system serves me. I've gamified it. It's fun. I'm putting my accountability in the Move group. So everybody that's in Move is seeing every month, whether they read it or not, it makes me feel accountable. How many miles I'm running, how many times I'm showing up for strength training, how many times I'm mostly not showing up for yoga. And it has that system in it of accountability, and then me actually truly being honest with myself. And so I want to encourage people, it doesn't have to be health related. It could be business related. It could be, you know, tracking how often you're meal planning. It could be how many dates you're going on with your spouse, or how often you're saving money, whatever it is, that you're just kind of finding a system to track the thing, to create the awareness, to gamify it a little bit, to have some accountability, because it works.
And how do you know you're improving if you're not measuring it? Tony Robbins has a quote that says, you can't manage what you don't measure. And I always think of that. If I'm someone, I want to get better sleep, what does better look like? And where am I right now? What would it take to get better? Yeah. Well, I got an Oura ring and now I'm tracking it. And that motivates me to really see and to notice what habits serve me, which ones I need to really make a non-negotiable. Lights out by 9 o'clock. Sorry, Ian, the TV's going off. He hates it, but I love it and he loves me. So therefore we love it together. But you know, like those, just tracking is so important. And I don't think we can't hear it enough.
Yeah.
You have to track what motivates you, and seeing that progress, you see streaks. We both use the I'm Sober app, and you can check in and see, okay, here's another day of being sober. Like I recently opened up, it was over 100 days. I was like, heck yeah. You know, you might forget about it.
Yeah.
But the tracking doesn't necessarily have to be you're in the app doing it every day. Could be something like the I Am Sober app, which I like.
And it shows it's important to you. Like it's whether it's subconscious, you know, it's becoming subconscious because you're doing it so much, you're tracking so much, you're thinking about it so much that it's becoming second nature. So, you know, we're going to talk about what our words of the year are. And it was so funny coming to the word because normally it's like something around habits for me. You know, it's like last year was radiant. I want to do things that make me radiant. And I'm like, I have been so consistent with the the showing up for the running and the strength training, not so much the yoga, but I'm working on that one. But I've been so consistent in the doing of the things, of the getting up early, of the being in my Bible app, growing my faith every morning, meditating every morning, reading every morning, and finding this exercise time.
Shit's kind of exhausting.
Well, but it's not actually. All of that is become who I am. I get up before my kids. It's not a question. I am in my Bible every day. It's not a question. I am tracking my exercise every day. And the days that I rest or whatever, obviously I'm not tracking it, but I know that's part of what it is. It's who I am now. And so my identity, I don't need a word to have me show up for myself in those ways anymore. And so I've shifted into Dre's word. What's her word? What is the word that she needs to embody to be that next level person, for me to be her? And that word for me is trust. And it's not like, oh, I need to trust this is going to happen. It's like, no, I trust. I trust myself. I trust that God's going to carry me through this year. I trust in my abilities. I trust that I show up. I trust that I am a good ass mom that is present for my kids. Like, it's making me emotional because I'm so proud of 2025 for all of the work I did on myself. And now I need to trust that this next level version of me can bring all of that with her. And so I'm so emotional because I know 2026 is going to be so huge, and I'm trying something that's so beyond what I've ever done. And I can't wait to read that letter in 2026 because I trust what it says is going to be true. And it gets me really excited and emotional because it's going to create so many dreams come true for my family. And so my word is trust. Yeah.
Going back to what we said earlier about belief. And when you were listing those habits of 2025, it did take energy. It wasn't a habit for you yet.
Yeah.
So for anyone listening, like I was, and I hear those things, I'm like, oh my God, I want to do this and this and this and this. And sometimes that can be overwhelming, but you stack them one at a time until they now are a habit. It's on autopilot. It's just what you do. It's your identity.
I experimented.
You experimented, right? You put in that work. So now this 2026, you can reap the benefits of that work. So maybe you're not at the point yet, for our listeners where you're like, I trust, because you have to build that trust, that confidence in yourself of tracking, doing the habits. But what you're saying is a beautiful representation of what happens when you keep showing up for you.
Yeah. And your people. And it's not just about me. I think sometimes when people set goals, it is about you. You're writing what you're going to do. But me giving up alcohol is for my kids. That's the reason I write in the app is and my daughter accidentally read it. She looked in, she was playing on the app, and it says, give a reason why you're not drinking. And I just put motherhood. And she was like, oh, it could be health related. It could be a lot of things, but it's it makes me a better mom. And so it's for them. I have more energy the days after. It's not just about the moment of saying no, right? It's so much about how am I going to show up tomorrow? How am I going to show up the next day? And when it comes to getting on the treadmill in the middle of winter or showing up for yoga, it's I will have more energy to show up for my business, and you're my business partner, and I want to help us both be successful, right? And when it comes to deepening my faith, I'm a better wife, all of these things that I'm doing, it's if you feel selfish in the midst of setting these big goals that do they make you spend time on yourself, but it elevates who you are as a person. It elevates how you show up for your kids. It's about everybody else too, that you love so deeply. It will enrich all your relationships when you take this time to reflect on yourself, what you want. You'll show up the best version of yourself for all of them too. And they deserve that from you, and you deserve it for yourself.
Totally. Bam, mic drop moment right there. Believing you're worthy.
Yeah.
Right? It all comes back to that. And I keep just seeing this word belief. And Kirsten, one of our Move members and good friend, she sent me a book for my birthday, the I think it's the Magic of Thinking Big. I might have butchered that, but I just started reading it yesterday, and it's all about just the power of belief. And if you believe in something so wholeheartedly, it's going to come true, because you're going to find a way. You're going to make the way. So when you say trust, you have belief that whatever you set your mind to, like, we are powerful. And a lot of us are on autopilot with the fear and the limiting beliefs because we don't know how to consciously shift that. We're living in that because our brain, that's the most powerful spot of our brain, is the reptilian brain. Fear. Oh my God, danger. I need to keep you safe. So recognizing that, flipping the script is something I'm really working on, of I don't have to believe all these thoughts that come in my head. I can challenge these thoughts. And for me, that looks like starting my morning with not hitting snooze, doing a meditation. So I recently listened to Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he talks about his 7-minute morning meditation. And it's about stepping into gratitude, visualization of that next level of you, because your mind doesn't know the difference between imagining and real. So starting my day with, how is it I want to feel? What is it I want to create? Getting really specific in my mind. I've just started playing with this, but it reminds me of what you're saying with trust, because I'm gaining that confidence in myself because I'm starting to see it in my imagination. I'm getting excited about it. I'm rehearsing it. It's the same reason that athletes rehearse. Growing up a dancer, I rehearse things before bed in my head. Now as a yoga instructor, I rehearse sequence in my head before falling asleep. I see myself doing it before I get on the stage. So I'm more confident in myself.
It's powerful. And it is such a belief thing. Like, I believe I will be her. I believe I can step into that version because I can see it. Like, we coached with Catherine Gagnon, and she said, like, she did an exercise where, like, you physically, like, well, you're in your mind, but you go into the body of the next level version of you, into the fingertips, into the clothes, right? And what does that person have to say to you? What would they say to you? What advice would they give you right now? Or what is she doing? What is she saying? And then once you can visualize it, you can become it. It sounds so woo-wooey, but it's just the truth.
I think it takes starting to practice it to really feel it and understand it. Like right now you might be listening to us and being like, what the hell are you guys talking about? But just trust. Going with the word trust, just try it. Like, close your eyes.
Do it right now.
Do
it right now. If you can, close your eyes, or if you're driving, just take a deep breath here. And visualize you at the end of 2026 and how she feels and how she's carrying herself, what she does in the morning, how she speaks to herself, how she speaks to her loved ones, how she shows up to take care of herself, and how she stops herself in the midst of a really negative situation, how she speaks up when something isn't right and sets a boundary, how she tells the people she loves how much she loves them. And when she's going somewhere, it's intentional. When she spends some time with someone, it's intentional. When she's doing something for her health, it's because she thought about it. And just start living that way now. If something feels like it's on autopilot, you don't know really why you're doing it, then let's change the course. Like, we can create whatever we want. And if you're a believer, I believe that I'm co-creating. And so it's not just on me, because sometimes that feels heavy to me to be the creator, because I'm not. For me, I have a God that I'm co-creating with that literally is a piece of me. I was created by this creator, and part of the creator is in me. And that means we're limitless. That means we literally can make anything happen if we believe that we can. And in the Bible, it says, like, ask and you shall receive. And it doesn't mean you're going to get it in 1 second. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have to work hard. It doesn't mean you're going to have to show up and fail and, all of these things. But I do believe that my creator is like, okay, you want that? Show me you really want that. Show me you want that over and over and over. Show me you're willing to learn. Show me you're willing to fight for this thing. Show me you're willing to surrender and believe with your whole heart this is possible. And in his timing, it will come true. And I believe that with my whole being. I'm surrendering to the timeline, but I'm also stepping into my unique abilities to do this on fire. If it's really what I want, I'm going to show up wholeheartedly. I'm not going to sit around and wait for it to happen. No, if I want it and I feel like God gave me abilities to be excited about it and be creative about it. And, you know, when it comes to my marathon goal, like I can't just show up in Connecticut and like think because I asked God to help me finish this marathon, I'm going to finish it. No, I had to do a lot of work to get there. I had to have knee issues a decade ago and figure out that I need yoga and strength training in my life. And now I can do these things better. It's like, it's not just asking and receiving, it's knowing what you want and then aligning with creating that on a daily basis and knowing it's not going to be pretty. And that's what makes it beautiful, is that you're still going after what you want regardless of what happens in the external, because it is on your heart to become this person that takes care of themselves or their business or their relationships this way.
Yeah, I think about the releasing the how. That's what, when people talk about manifesting, they talk a lot about is getting really clear on what you want, knowing the what and the why, and releasing the how. And as a human, it's really hard to release that control, to surrender. And something I like to think about is, okay, yes, I'm releasing the how, but I'm also tuning into the little sparks of the pathway of what lights me up. Proof is in the pudding. Where have we had success in the past? What, okay, could I see myself doing that? So it's almost like I'm releasing the control. I don't need to know the how, but I'm still tuned into what needs to happen for me to get there, what conditions need to be true, so I think there's this dance between the letting go, the surrendering, but still taking messy action that is forgotten about. Because you're right, you can't just, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be a millionaire, and lay in my bed every day. Like, that shit ain't going to work. So taking messy action, and that's what we want you to do this year, is get clear on what you want, be unapologetic for what you want, and start taking messy action, and just don't stop. And every success book I read, every podcast I listen to, it's like, what separates the 1%? They just didn't stop. And I think that is really empowering. And what it takes to keep going is energy. And that's my word for the year. Not so much me elevating my own energy, but I really want to tap into helping other people with their energy. I think about my yoga classes and why I'm drawn to yoga. It's because I feel a shift in my energy, in my mind, in my body. And I hear that with other people that take my classes. I want to bring that to stages. Now, I think corporate level, leadership, entrepreneurs, women in business, everyone can 10x their energy to 10x their productivity, their retention in their company. I've really been praying a lot about, like, where is my specific role in this world and the problem I want to solve. And I think there is an energy crisis, and I have felt that. For a while I was like, oh, it's gut health. And I'm like, no. I think that is a huge piece of it.
I was gonna say, it's a huge piece.
And the health, people having the energy to live on fire, you need your health, but you also need a lot of other things. And that's something that I want to help with. And in return is going to help me because we have to walk the walk. So more to come on that. But I think it's just the word that came to me. And sometimes you just can't question it. You just got to trust and believe. So ask yourself, like, what is my word? And just see what shows up. Close your eyes, breathe, release the need to know it right now.
Yeah. I would say sit on it for a day or two. I think we can want an answer immediately. And sometimes it doesn't come that fast. Like last year, it was super easy. I knew it. It was like, yes, this is my word. But really take time to reflect. If, there's anything that we're asking you to do today, it is to reflect, to think on what you want, how you want to feel, how you want to show up, and sometimes rest is part of that equation. If you're listening to this, it's the beginning of the year. Hopefully you're tuning in on January 1st. And if you're a parent, if you're a person going through Christmas time and the holidays or whatever your beliefs are, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of running around. It's a lot of shopping. It's a lot. And sometimes in order to know what the word is, you need to be fully rested and rejuvenated and back to that nervous system reset of feeling like, okay, I'm ready. I am calm. I am breathing. I'm reflecting. I'm taking this time for me to get back to that place where you can even have clarity on what you want.
Yeah, you got to be able to hear yourself think, to hear those downloads you get from the universe, God, whatever it is you believe, your intuition. That's where the meditating in the morning or any time of your day before bed, it's so powerful so that you can hear. And like Andrea said, you have to have that calm nervous system. It's so important. So if there's one thing you take away as your year starts, focus on regulating your nervous system. Get some peace in your morning. Start your day in offense versus defense, like we always talk about. And then ask those powerful questions and be prepared to receive the answers.
Yeah. Speaking of receiving answers, keep tuning into Ivy Unleashed this season, because with Brooke focusing on energy and then me focusing on trust and all the guests that we have coming, this is going to be an unbelievable season. We have guests lined up for months that are going to blow your mind with their stories of resilience, their expertise, what they're developing as far as products go. We're having Amelia Rizzuto back on, so many people back on, but to talk about health and how we can elevate our energy, how we can show up, how we can trust that we are the type of people that show up for ourselves and for other people. I'm just so excited, grateful for this year. And like we said earlier, let us know what you want to hear. DM us on Instagram, leave a review and say, hey, you haven't talked about this yet. My hair's falling out. I want to talk about hair. Like, let us know what you want to talk about. Whatever it is, we want to talk about it all. We really do. If there's something we haven't talked about yet, or you want us to circle back, or you have an expert in mind you want to hear from, please tell us. We really, really want to hear from you.
Yeah. And a little sneak peek, Dr. Stephanie, her products have really helped me kick the caffeine addiction, help with my natural energy. So that's just something that comes to mind as you're talking about our guests of like, we are using their products, using their advice, their wisdom in real time, and then sharing it throughout the season with you. So super excited. Tune in to hear about those products. And this is just your permission to get clear on what you want. Create those boundaries. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. And if there's something when you reflect on the last year that you kept complaining about, maybe that's your sign to create your word around that, to create the new habits around that, so you can leave that negativity in 2025. Yes. Step into you today.
I was just going to say a caveat to asking what you want. You don't have to justify what you want.
Hell no.
You want what you want. And if someone's like, why do you want that? Nope, you don't need to justify. You want what you want, and that's okay. And this is your permission slip to want what you want and go after it in 2026. No more justifying.
Yeah. And tell us what you want. Let's start normalizing.
Tell us what you want.
What do you want? I would love a Range Rover. And so by the end of the year, let's just see, well, maybe a couple of years. I got some other big plans first. But it can, something that just excites you. It can be silly. It can be fun. But the important piece is that you know what you want.
And mine hasn't changed. I still want a puppy. Okay. So let's mark this. You come back in end of 2026 and you see if there's a puppy running around this house, okay? Because that is happening. Range Rover and puppies, baby. We want things a lot deeper than that as well. But as you heard, what we're working on, all of the inner work we're doing, and we're going to continue to share it with you. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. At this point, we have 131 countries tuning in. Please keep sharing. Let's have this reach all 205 countries so that everybody can light this world on fire with their unique abilities, what they want, how they want to feel, and let's help a sister out and share.
Yeah, let's get some energy and let's trust that the energy is coming, baby.
And if you're new here, we end every episode with a piece of gold, a quote that speaks to us. Today's quote is from Dr. Wayne Dyer, R.I.P. The lesson is clear in terms of removing lower energy obstacles. We must raise ourselves to the level of energy where we are the light we seek, where we are the happiness we desire, where we are the love we feel is missing, where we are the unlimited abundance we crave. By being it, we attract it to us. This is Gold Ivy signing off.
Listen to your truth and go trust and follow your gold.
Ooh, girl.